The worst video game ever. E.T. for Atari.
It was bad.
Brutal, unfair, didn't make a lot of sense.
How did a company that was so innovative fail so miserably?
What's up, guys, and welcome to the SaveState. I'm your host, Landon Barton. I've got Seth Duncan here, and we are doing a new series where we are reviewing documentaries on Netflix, nerd culture documentaries. The first one up is Atari Game Over. What did you think about it?
So I enjoyed it with a few caveats, but when I was done watching it, I thought that was pretty neat. That was fun to watch.
It's a pretty short documentary, too. I think it's only an hour, like 6 minutes-ish. It's pretty short.
Well, they didn't really have a whole lot of content, let's be real.
Yes.
But no, I mean, it was cool because you got to see some behind the scenes with some cool people. You got to learn some stories that were related to video game development that I hadn't read before or heard about or whatever. And so that was kind of neat. And honestly, for me, the big nerd moment was like seeing Ernie Klein picking up his DeLorean from George R.R. Martin.
And who is Ernest Cline, for those who might not know?
So Ernest Cline wrote Ready Player One.
He also wrote the screenplay for Fanboys, which is an awesome movie. I highly recommend.
So that was just kind of like a pinnacle nerd moment. I was like, this guy's living the dream. He's picking up his DeLorean to road trip across the South with an
E.T.
in the passenger seat.
So the story of Atari Game Over is, here's the problem with it, and it's a fine documentary. If you go out and watch it, it's not very long. That's about as much as I can say for you on it. There's some stuff in here that I feel like I got out of it, but I felt like there's a lot of issues that I had with it. Number one, it kind of suffers from an identity crisis in this documentary. It's two documentaries in one. It's a buy one get two free type thing. You get the rise and fall of Atari over here, and then you get this story about the myth of Atari dumping thousands and millions of ET cartridges in the desert, Alamogordo, just to get rid of them because this myth that ET was such a bad game that it destroyed Atari. The biggest problem with this is that's already been debunked. Like, it's already been basically proven that what was dumped out there in that desert, in that landfill, was just a warehouse dump. Right. So yes, there was some ET cartridges in there, but there was just a bunch of other random Atari. It was just a warehouse dump. Atari was losing money, they were getting rid of their stuff, and that's what it was. And here's where I have fundamental problems with this documentary is because if you go to, like, say, Kotaku and Polygon, I think both of them have articles where certain people that used to work for Atari at the time were interviewed for this movie. All of their scenes were cut from this because in 30 seconds, they basically debunked the entire point of this documentary, which is like, here's all this proof. Here's all this stuff that this never happened. And they cut it from this just to, sensationalize this idea.
See, I look at it slightly, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here. This is my thought process that may have been what happened. What if they came up with this idea of, let's do this documentary about them dumping these cartridges. Midway through it, they find out that it's not really a thing, so they're like, okay, let's do a 2-for-1 documentary. That's the rise and fall of Atari, and we'll have this in as kind of a kicker.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're already, like, through production, you've got your camera crew, you've got all of this stuff, and it's like, I mean, it would kind of suck to just bail entirely.
Now, Here's the other thing that I don't like about this. All of the parts that were about the rise and fall of Atari are great because you get a lot of really awesome interviews with Nolan Bushnell and other people that were integral to Atari.
Right.
Great interviews there. Anytime the filmmaker was on camera for this, and he was mainly on camera for all of the Atari dump situations, he was arrogant, brash, really pulled me out of the movie. Just the way that he spoke to people and the way he interacted with people.
Right.
It was disingenuous, it was insincere, pulled me out of it. And that might just be my personal take on it. You guys go out there and watch it and tell me for yourselves, but man, I don't know.
The only thing for me that really pulled me out is a stupid thing, but at one point there was a drone shot where you could see the drone shadow.
Yes. Oh my god. And they used it like 3 or 4 times in there. I was like, guys, just know where the sun is. It's not a problem. I definitely picked up on that as well. So, I mean, it's still, if you're into nerd culture, go watch it on Netflix. Like I said, it's really short. It's not going to take up very much of your time. I personally was very unimpressed with this documentary. You were kind of middle ground or more impressed than unimpressed?
It was background while I was playing Eve, and it was totally fine. It was the sort of thing I didn't care enough about to...
So go play Eve and watch this, and then you're going to be fine. So let us know in the comments below if you liked Atari Game Over, if you're going to go watch it, and then come back here and tell us what you thought about it. As always, you can find out more from us. We are on Facebook and Twitter. And thanks for liking and subscribing, and we'll see you guys next time.